So I've had several questions come in from Unit 7 about quiz number 3, question, so that's quiz, so question number 11. I should have abbreviated quiz as question is Q and left quiz is quiz, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. And so I wanted to just kind of talk about this one. What we've got going on here is a couple of things. Number one, we have 3 different triangles in this picture. So the first thing you need to know is how to see all 3. So you have the little triangle over here, and then the larger triangle over there, kind of the medium triangle, and then we have the entire triangle right here. And so they're all 3 triangles. They're all 30, 60, 90 triangles, because since this angle is 60 and that angle is 30, and those 2 are both marked as 90-degree angles, we know, let me get rid of the colors, we know that this angle is also 90 degrees, and this angle here is also 90 degrees, and this little angle up here must be 30, and this little angle on the other side must be 60. And so we have 30, 60, 90-degree triangles all around. We are given the hypotenuse of the largest triangle. So what we know is x and z have a relationship with 9. So x is the shortest leg because it's directly across from 30, which means it's half of the hypotenuse. And if you can't tell, this line is directly across from this right angle, that making it the hypotenuse. So x equals 9 divided by 2, or 4.5 if you're more comfortable with decimals. I think the answer would prefer fractions just based on what you have to drag around, because you don't really have any decimals. So, but you know, I don't care what you're more comfortable with. And then z, in the big triangle, the whole triangle, z will act as the opposite, the shorter of the 2 legs, the middle leg. So we've got x, z, and 9 in the big triangle. And so z is the shortest leg. We'll go with 9 over 2 times the square root of 3, which becomes 9 times the square root of 3 over 2. Or if you're using decimals, not approximately, you need to leave the square root of 3 in your answer regardless. So 4.5 radical 3. So that's z. So that's if we're dealing with the biggest triangle. Now we can also still find y, a, and b in this situation. So we can use what we just did. X is half of 9. And then we can focus on the littlest triangle. So if we just focus on this triangle for a minute, that'll help me find a and b, a and y. So if x is 4.5, or 9 over 2, a is half of that. So a is 9 over 2, and half of that, or 9 over 4, which is 2.25 if you prefer decimals. And y is now the shortest, the middle of the 2 legs, a being half, the short leg. Y is the middle of the 2 legs, so y is 9 over 4 times the square root of 3, or 9 radical 3 over 4. And again, if you're using decimals, 2.25 radical 3. So that's why. Now z, actually we have z, b is really easy. If you know a is 9 over 4, and we know a plus b is 9, a plus b is 9, and a is 9 over 4. B is 9 over 4, 9 minus 9 over 4, which is a little annoying to do without a calculator. And you can, of course, use a calculator, but then you have to turn it back into a fraction, because I think it wants fractions, like I said, for answers. Let me grab a square to draw, make this a little longer. Some more room there. And so 9 times 4 is 36. So 36 fourths minus 9 fourths is 45. Excuse me, wrong direction. 27/4. I added 27/4. So that's equal to b. And again, you can also use the fact that y and double it, or actually times it by the radical 3, but look how complicated y is. You really want to times that by the square root of 3? Not so much, it's kind of confusing. Or we can go into the z triangle here. Anyway, we could do it another way, but it's easier to subtract once we know a. So that's that. The one on the test has a different number than 9. Otherwise, it's the same problem. And again, this is from Unit 7, Quiz 3, Question 11. Hope it helps.